Hello and welcome to today's review of Once Upon a Deadpool. Last week we talked about both Deadpool and Deadpool 2 in preparation of this film. And this film surprised me a bit. Going into this film, I knew that it was going to be much like Deadpool 2, that they were going to essentially show Deadpool 2 in a PG-13 format instead of an R format. What I was surprised with was what the addition of Fred Savage. They went and recreated the format of The Princess Bride, where somebody was telling Fred Savage a story about what had happened. And they played a lot of jokes on that, and they used Fred in a way to explain some characters that didn't get a lot of back history, kind of like Cable. They just kind of touched over his time travel and not the techno-organic virus or how he's time displaced or who his parents are. And they portray Fred Savage in this film as a complete comic book geek, nerd, like he knows what he's talking about and that he gets excited about it. It is those segments that bring the most comedy for me. I've seen Deadpool 2, and for Once Upon a Deadpool, there wasn't a lot of changes. Sure, there wasn't a lot of blood, there was not a lot of swearing, there was a lot of violence, but you didn't see a lot of the graphic blood. The changes that they made within the film to cut blood did change some continuity within the film. Like you see the scene where Deadpool puts his hand on a gun, and in the R-rated version it shoots through his palm and then he turns around and shoots through it again. Well, in this one they showed it, but they didn't show like the gore out of the back of his hand, so it like made no sense on how he shot somebody through his hand, and then later on in the film he's got this hole in the back of his hand. So it created some continuity errors in that aspect, but for the most part it wasn't too big of a difference. They did get a lot of mining out of the censorship. There's one scene where Deadpool's got a beeper and just beeps the curse words out. Once Upon a Deadpool is essentially Deadpool 2 reskinned in a way to show to younger audiences. Do I recommend this film for younger audiences? Absolutely not. It is still full of adult humor, perverse jokes, and even though they don't show nudity or excessive blood and gore, well, there is at least one scene with excessive blood and gore. It's basically just enough Deadpool to get through to the censorships. And I only really enjoyed the Fred Savage moments. It feels like this film is a test bed for what can come later. They even make a joke about Disney buying Fox. It lands, but it's again one of those segments with Fred Savage. So with all that said, there is one reason why I would recommend this film, and that's because of why they put it out. When we first heard about it, we knew that it was coming. It was going to be PG-13, when really they are using this as a one-week release for a charity called FC Cancer, which usually their tagline is "Fuck Cancer." But within this aspect, they're using the PG-13 as Fudge Cancer. And for that reason alone, I would say go watch this film. Just enjoy what it is. It's comedic in some ways, and oh my goodness, in other ways. I will tell you that we took our 12-year-old daughter. She was not amused. It did nothing for her. She just looked at it like it was the most ridiculous thing she's ever seen. With that said, let me know if you have seen Deadpool 2 and Once Upon a Deadpool and what your thoughts are about the two versions in the comments below. By the way, have you seen the extended cut Blu-ray? If you have, tell me what you think about that cut in the comments below. And until next time, have a great night.